There was a lot to break down in that Starfield gameplay reveal. It really seems as though Todd and friends are trying to give players the chance to roleplay their own outer space adventure as much as possible. One of the biggest giveaways is the character creation and background selections. Let's talk about what they showed us and how this will facilitate roleplaying. We'll discuss character customization, backgrounds, traits, skills, research, weapon modding, and outpost building. As we've talked about previously, the character customization has been greatly upgraded. It looks as though there are some great options here. You start off with a biometric ID, which basically appears to be your basic appearance. It's a preset, basically. Then things get interesting when you tab over to body. You can choose your physique, a mix between thin and heavy with an additional muscle dynamic. Reminds me of the Fallout 4 and 76 body build Bermuda Triangle of death. There's a body type selection. Not sure what that does exactly, they didn't show it. Maybe it's also a preset for your body, so that you don't have to manually choose your body. Then, interestingly, there is a walk style. Perhaps you can choose between a masculine or feminine walk style. Maybe there's several options, who knows. Then there's skin tone. Under face tab there's all the usual options. Skin tone, again, head shapes, hair color, eyes, and more, which they didn't show us in the video. Interestingly, the slider on here is at option 19, and the indicator isn't even halfway on the scale, so it looks as though there will be plenty of hairstyles to choose from. Backgrounds tab is where the real action is. We see a few different options, each one comes tied to 3 starting skills. There's Beast Hunter, Bouncer, Bounty Hunter, Boba Fett playthrough confirmed, Chef, Combat Medic, Cyber Runner, Cyberneticist, Diplomat, Explorer, Gangster, Homesteader, Industrialist, Long Hauler, Pilgrim, Professor, and Ronin. Those are the ones we saw. Clearly they wanted players to have the option to choose exactly how they wanted their space adventure to play out. You can play as a bounty hunter, so hunting down notorious criminals on the fringes of the settled systems for the authorities, or maybe those who crossed a powerful crime lord and need to be dealt with, if you want a dark side playthrough. You can be an augmented cyberspace cop with Cyber Runner, or a security guard for an elite member of a megacorp. If you want to be a charismatic space skooma salesman, you can choose Diplomat and sell your wares to the highest bidder, if they have coin. People not your thing? You can become an introverted wilderness explorer and chart the uncharted parts of space. You could choose to be a gangster and gain street cred in the mean underbelly of Neon. Homesteader could relate to outpost building, and maybe you could even team up with a space version of Preston Garvey. That will be fun.
Our scouts have found a promising spot for a new settlement.
Long Hauler might allow you to carry more cargo and become a trade merchant. You could become a space scientist.
Or a football-playing king in space, with a mustache.
A Ronin and travel the universe offering your sword to whoever will hire your protection. These are just some theoretical examples of the role-playing that Starfield could potentially provide. Happily, they scrolled over a few of these so we were able to get a better look at some of the starting skills and their benefits. We have gastronomy. You can craft specialty food and drinks and research additional recipes at a research lab. Dueling. Melee weapons do 10% more damage. Wellness. Immediately gain 30 points of health. Pistol certification. Pistols do 10% more damage. Medicine. Medpacks heal 10% more. Weightlifting. Increase total carrying capacity by 10 kilograms. That's a must for any Bethesda game. You wouldn't want to leave any useless junk behind now, would you? Security. You can attempt to hack advanced locks and 2 auto attempts can be banked. That sounds like a similar system to what they had in Fallout 4. Persuasion. Gain an increased chance of success on speech challenges. Robotics. You deal 10% more damage to robots and turrets. Lasers. Laser weapons do 10% more damage. Diplomacy. You can force a target NPC at or below your level to stop fighting for a while. That sounds like an interesting one. Bargaining. Buy items for 5% less and sell for 10% more. Then we have traits. These are all optional and you can choose up to 3 of them. We got shown alien DNA, empath, extrovert, Freestar Collective Settler, introvert, kid stuff, neon street rat, raised enlightened, raised universal. Serpent's Embrace, Spaced, Starter Home, Taskmaster, Terra Firma, United Colonies Native, Unwanted Hero. Selecting some of these will cause others to be blocked as inaccessible, as in the case of selecting Introvert, which obviously cancels out Extrovert, as you can't be both, unless you've got split personalities. Again, we got to see a few of these and their descriptions. Introvert. You really need your time alone. You have more endurance when adventuring alone, but less when adventuring with other human companions. Vasco will be fine though. You can take Vasco with you and you'll be fine. You can still be introverted with Vasco. Vasco. Kid stuff. Your parents are still alive and well, and you can visit them at their home, but 10% of all the money you earn is deducted automatically and sent to them.
Who are you people?
Daddy, I'm scared.
Neon Street Rat. You grew up on the mean streets of Neon. You gain access to special dialogue options and better rewards for missions on Neon. Crime bounty by other factions is greatly increased. Raised Enlightened. You grew up as a member of the Enlightened. You gain a significant discount at the organization's store, but lose access to Sanctum Universium store. Raised Universal. You grew up as a member of the Sanctum Universium. You gain a significant discount at the church store, but lose access to the Enlightened store. Serpent's Embrace. You grew up worshipping the Great Serpent. Grav jumping provides a temporary boost to health and endurance, but health and endurance are lowered if you don't continue jumping regularly, like an addiction. That one sounds pretty funny. Spaced. Your body has become acclimated. Your body has become used to space. Health and endurance are increased when in space, but decreased when on the surface. Starter Home. You own a small house on a peaceful little moon, but it comes with a 50,000 credit mortgage with Galbank. And that, children, is what drove me to a life of crime. Working for a space mafia crime lord on Neon, smuggling spacefish skooma throughout the settled systems. It's a hard life, one that I didn't want, but it chose me. How skills work.
You can unlock new skills as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them and completing challenges.
What he said. You unlock a skill using a skill point, then you complete challenges to rank up that skill. A bit like in Skyrim. Once you have completed that challenge, you can spend a skill point to access the next rank or tier and get the rewards. It looks as though you can't passively complete challenges without having unlocked a skill first. I could be wrong about that, but it looks as though you need to specifically focus on a particular skill and have it already unlocked to begin completing the challenge. Some of those skills are particle beams, rapid reloading, targeting, sniper certification, heavy weapons certification, demolitions. Let's take ballistics for example. The only reason I picked this one is because I had no choice. It's the only one they looked at in the video. Each new rank increases the percentage of damage done by ballistic weapons. Challenges typically involve killing masses of enemies with that type of weapon. You can keep ranking up until you reach max level. But what about modding and weapon crafting, I hear you say? Well, it's in the game. It looks similar to Fallout 4 in that you can mod the attributes of your weapons to your heart's content. But in Starfield it seems that you have to first learn how to make these mods first. That's when research comes in. Researching will allow you to access stronger mods. You will use materials you collect from the 1,000 planets to fund these research projects. It looks as though you can research one project at a time in each of the 5 research categories. These are pharmacology, food and drink, outpost development, equipment, and weaponry. Then we have outpost construction. You can build these on any of the 1,000 planets you come across, I presume. I noticed a few things regarding outpost construction. Like Fallout 4, there is a build limit. Modders will get rid of this, or there may be an exploit to ignore this, as in Fallout 4. You have 3 main values: cargo capacity, crew, and power. Also shown is a production per minute stat. I guess you will be able to decide on what gets produced, and it might be dependent on the planet's resources. I also noticed the outpost pieces have an integrity, so either we can be attacked, the environment and weather may affect it, or maybe it just degrades over time. Obviously things cost resources to build and power to run. I like the aerial view for the construction. It looks like it'll make it a lot easier to build our outposts. Once you have an outpost built, you can hire people to work at your slave camp, outpost. Perhaps each person may have different skills and specialties that will help you decide whether they are worth hiring or not. In the next video, we will discuss spaceship design, building, space combat, and exploration. Thanks for watching.
Alright, we've all seen enough. Put on some clothes. Yes?